In this presentation, we will take a look at multiple choice questions related to governmental accounting, going through those questions and then practicing test-taking skills with them. First question, which is a proprietary fund? Either A, the permanent fund, B, special revenue fund, C, debt service fund, or C, debt service fund, or D, internal service fund. Let's go through this again using the process of elimination. Which is a proprietary fund? Either A, the permanent fund. Now, the permanent fund is going to be that item where we basically put in something, money got put into it that's going to be there indefinitely and it's used for a specific purpose. But so there might be revenue on it, but it's usually going to be interest type of revenue. So it doesn't seem like we're going to get revenue from like customers as we would think of in a proprietary type of activity, proprietary being similar to a for-profit type of organization. So I don't think it's the permanent fund. B says special revenue fund, and it has the term revenue in it, so we might say, maybe B, I'll keep that one for now. C says the debt service fund, and it's going to have something to do with long-term debt. So once again, I wouldn't think that that would be kind of like a proprietary fund that would be similar to like a for-profit with goods and services. So I don't think that's going to be the one. And then D says the internal service fund. And so that's going to be something, it has service in it. So that sounds like we might be providing a service. So I'll keep that one. Let's go through it again. Which is a proprietary fund, either the special revenue fund or the internal service fund? Of the two, the proprietary fund is the internal service fund. And that's going to be something, there's two proprietary funds, an enterprise fund types or internal service fund types. And the difference between the two is the internal service is going to have customers that are kind of within the government, whereas the enterprise, the customers are kind of outside, but they're proprietary in that they kind of act like a for-profit in that we have charges and basically revenue for services typically, and therefore we can account for it on more of an accrual basis. Special revenue is going to have special revenue for that's basically been assigned to a specific purpose. So D is our final answer, which is a proprietary fund. D, internal service fund. Next question. Which is a fiduciary fund? Either A, the general fund, B, the investment trust fund, C, debt service fund, or D, permanent fund. Let's go through it again using the process of elimination. Which is a fiduciary fund? Is it A, the general fund? Now, fiduciary is going to be a grouping of funds, and we have the governmental funds, the largest group, and then we've got the proprietary funds and the fiduciary funds. The general fund is going to be in the largest group, the governmental fund, so it doesn't seem like A would be it. B says investment trust fund. So possibly, and then D says the debt service fund. So debt service fund, I'll keep that one for now. And then D says the permanent fund, and permanent fund, we might think it would be D as well. So let's keep that. Which is a fiduciary fund? Is it the investment trust fund, the debt service fund, or the permanent fund? And of those three, it's actually going to be the investment trust fund. Because anytime you see something like held in trust or something like that, then we're thinking it's going to be a fiduciary type responsibility where we're basically we're acting as kind of an agent in some way, holding on to it in trust in some way. The debt service fund and the permanent fund are two types of governmental funds. They're going to be the largest type of category of funds. So final answer is going to be B. Next question. Funds to use for activity providing goods or services to the public for a fee. Either A, investment trust fund, B, non-tax revenue fund, C, for-profit fund, or D, enterprise fund. Let's go through this again using the process of elimination. Funds to use for activity providing goods or services to the public for a fee. So notice what's happening. We're giving it to the public and we're collecting a fee for it. That sounds like a business, right? That sounds like a business. So that's going to be in the categories of fund, the proprietary type funds. So we have the governmental funds, we've got the proprietary funds, and we've got fiduciary funds. So these sounds like they're going to be in the proprietary fund group. Now there's two items in the proprietary fund type group. So that's what we're looking for. A, investment trust fund. So it's not going to be, it doesn't sound like an investment, because we're basically getting revenue. So I don't think that's it. B says non-tax revenue fund. And so non-tax, we're getting revenue that's not tax. So maybe, and then C says for-profit fund. And it seems like there's kind of a profit incentive, so possibly. And then D says the enterprise fund. So of these three terms, the one that should sound kind of familiar as a fund is the enterprise fund. The nonprofit, the non-tax revenue fund doesn't sound quite right. And the for-profit fund, we don't really use for-profit in governmental accounting because we consider the whole thing non-profit, even though we're acting kind of like a business in this case. So we don't usually use the term, for-profit fund. We're going to use the term instead enterprise fund. So enterprise fund is going to be one of the proprietary funds, the one that's going to be used if we have the customers that are going to be basically external as opposed to internal. Final answer, funds to use for activity providing goods or services to the public for a fee. D, enterprise fund.